Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Keystone Crisis Intervention Team's KCIT Volunteer Spotlight. My name is Kelsey Delaporte. I'm joined today with one of our volunteers, Danie Loewen. We're so excited to have her with us. Welcome, Danie.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing currently?
Yeah, so I currently work for the Pennsylvania Office of Victim Advocate as a director of victim services. Um, our office is a conglomerate of a lot of different things,
Mm,
but the most basic thing I could say is that we send notifications to victims when the offender that they're in their crime is in a state prison.
okay.
So we kind of work with them with the whole process. So I'm a director there, and I oversee a couple different programs and some of the staff. And I've been there for over 2 years now. Um, in my background, I have an undergraduate degree in anthropology and international politics, and I went on
Mm,
from there to get my law degree and a master's degree in negotiations and conflict management.
wow.
So I have a number of degrees I'm not using these days. So
I like
um,
to think it all just comes together and
it
supports what you're
does.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in the domestic violence shelter with Access York with the YWCA for
Yeah.
a number of years. I worked as a crisis counselor in York County, and I basically worked with a partner, and we would go out and visit families
Mm,
who were at risk of or had already lost their children to the to CYF, to the foster like system. So
yeah.
we would go and work with them to do what they needed to do to get the kids back in the home if that was the best option. So that was a really like interesting segue for me in my career. It's probably one of my favorite jobs just because we got to like do so many different things and we got to actually make change in people's lives, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I found OVA and that's how I got to this. And I was like, this is like the pinnacle of what I wanted to do, to work with victims. And I get to do it statewide now and get to work with county victim service agencies. And I do a lot of work with
Fantastic.
victims' rights. So that's what led me to where I am now. And that's where I am.
Awesome. Thank you. So that said, what brought you to KKIT and like how long have you been with KKIT?
So I did the GCI, the group crisis intervention training in the end of 2023, very shortly after I started with OVA. I forget, someone in my agency had sent an email saying, "Hey, this is happening. Anybody can do it." So I jumped into it. I was like, "This is really awesome." And what led me to wanting to do it was my master's in conflict management, because
Yeah.
that is like exactly what I want to do, is work in the crisis intervention and the conflict management within bigger communities. So I was like, this is really really cool. So
Cool.
I jumped on that, and then immediately after finishing it, I was like, Donna, I want to be a volunteer. So that led to that, and in December of 2023 I became a volunteer. Um, and yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Awesome. Yeah, we're really happy to have you. Danny has been really active, jumped right in, a very passionate volunteer right from the beginning. So even though it hasn't been that long, you've been very active. In that time, is there a moment that has kind of stood out for you that you want to share?
I think so. I just did the Pathways conference. It was a really awesome experience to go as a KCAT volunteer, because I got to see how the volunteers work together to make sure that
Mm,
people are feeling supported and feeling heard. And just it was and the conference working with us so well and having us be readily available and everything. It was just such a really awesome experience overall. And I'm really glad that I was able to do that with KCAT.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I also attended the Pathways conference and to be able to be there, we did have individuals who needed intervention. There were some heavy topics this year, especially it coincided with 9/11 and not have gone so well without you guys being there. So, thank you.
Mm.
So, one thing we always like to ask as we kind of wrap up is there a surprising or kind of interesting fact or tidbit about yourself that you'd like to share with us?
So this question's always so hard for me. But my like fun fact that I would use in all of those, fun things that you do in college and high school and stuff, was my great grandpa won the lottery in the 90s, and he won like $13 million.
Oh my gosh.
It's not around anymore. It's gone. But
Oh
that all
no.
of our luck in my family has been drained. It went to that. So I'll
Oh
never probably win
wow.
anything ever again.
Oh my gosh, an interesting thing. I love hearing about family history and
Yeah.
how, everybody's fates are sort of intertwined sometimes, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Danny, is there anything else you want to share with us today?
No, I just thank you so much for this honor. This is amazing, and I love working with K Kid. It's such a great time in my life.
Thank you so much, Danny. We're so happy to have you. So, everybody will be back again in December for our next volunteer spotlight. We hope to see you then. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Take care.